Good evening, and welcome to Virginia Rep's Bedtime Stories. Bedtime stories. They are magical, aren't they? So I'm going to open this book. And if you're ready, and I know I'm ready, let's see what we find. Tonight's story is The Turnip, as told by Dixon Cashwell.
Okay, so once upon a time, there were these two brothers. One of them was very rich, and one of them was very poor. I'm gonna go ahead and put a huge curly mustache on the rich brother so that we can tell them apart. There we go. The poor brother decides, I've had it with being poor. I'm gonna make something of myself. I'm gonna be a farmer, and I'm gonna farm turnips. So the poor brother plants a bunch of turnip seeds, turnip bushes, turnip trees. To be honest, I don't really know how turnips work. Anyway, once the turnips grew, there was one that was just huge, enormous. It kept growing and growing until it was the size of an elephant, or 1,300 cats. So the poor brother is like, what am I gonna do with this big turnip? What am I gonna do with this big turnip? What am I gonna do? After a lot of thinking, the poor brother decides he's going to give the big turnip to the king as a sign of respect. So he heads off to the king's castle, huge turnip in tow. And you know what? The king loves this huge turnip. He's like, oh yeah, I love this huge turnip. Yes, great. I can't get enough of this huge turnip. This big turnip rules. The king loved the big turnip so much that he gave the poor brother land and sheep and cows and money, so much so that the poor brother was now way richer than the rich brother. The rich brother, he didn't like that. So he thinks to himself, if my poor brother got all of that from giving the king a huge turnip, if I give the king gold and horses and other expensive, cool stuff, my reward will be way bigger than his. So the rich brother starts getting everything together, his gold, his horses, his money, his 30 Nintendo Switches, and he loads them into a cart. And by the time he's finished, every single thing he owns and all the money he has is in this cart. He's about to set off when his wife runs out of the house. Sweetie, she says, that's everything we own. That's all of our horses, all of our gold, all of our money, all of our 30 Nintendo Switches that you have for some reason. And the rich brother says to his wife, don't worry. If my brother can get fortune beyond his wildest dreams from a single big turnip, imagine what the king will give us for all of this. His wife was still a little worried, but he set off towards the castle, confident that this would be the beginning of an even richer, even cooler chapter of their life. So the rich brother gets to the king's castle, and he gives the king everything. The gold, the horses, all of his money. At this point, 40 Nintendo Switches, because he stopped to pick up a few on the road. And the king is so happy. He's like, yes! Heck yeah, I love this! I love this gold! These horses are great! I love all this money! And I'm gonna figure out something to do with these 40 Nintendo Switches. To be honest, I don't really need that much, but I guess it's good. It's good to have 39 backups in case one breaks. And the king can't stop talking about how much he loves these gifts. And the rich brother is thinking like, "Oh yeah, we're on easy street now. I'm going to be even richer than I was before, and even richer than my now rich poor brother." Anyway, the king's servants take away all of the rich brother's gifts and locks them away in the castle. And the king says, "I love all of these gifts so much that I'm going to offer you my most prized possession, the thing I value above all else, my light and my stars in this world. This huge turnip someone gave me."
Well, wasn't that a great story? Fairy tales truly are magical. So why don't you join me again next week when we open this book again? You never know what we might find.